Okay, so back online. I'm freezing. It's cold. Um, and what I'm working on is this roadmap and too many things at once. It's just the truth. Um, and Web 3.0 is my target for technology in IPFS specifically. The issue is that it uses HTTP and not HTTPS. So I'm experimenting with Docker and trying to create a private instance, but I'm kind of getting carried away because I'm dealing with all these port forwardings and some of these issues here, right? So I'm gonna solve that in my code, my Docker image itself, so that way it stays isolated and persistent of how this is supposed to be configured to link together. What's happening? Um, hmm. Sorry, family things. Do that right now. Okay, updated that. Okay, so it's 10, 10, 20. Okay, that's fun. It's noon. It's about 1 o'clock. I haven't done shit. That's not true, but done dishes. So I'm trying to be a productive human being. Um, so yeah, I need to make this IP and port combination fucking exposed to my computer. Hip hip. So there's many ways you can accomplish this, and what I want to do is I want to figure out the easiest way, just a direct bind. Um, but we'll see. So without further ado, so 8080 has that. So what I need to do is publish 502, but it's pointing at a weird 00 port. Let me see if I could find something around this. Bam. So let's see here. Interesting. Moby. Nope, not what I'm looking for in any sense. Oh, see, these are fun ones. So I need to back this out like Jesus. Ah, there we go. That's better. Okay, so Docker container list. Oh yeah, so 8080 is open. I really just, so let's open 502 now. um, Docker container kill. Okay. So how do I do the port for 502? This is fun. See, these are the things I don't know how to do. So how do I publish? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so ipconfig. It's my IP. Yeah, I'm just giving people wide open access, but let's see. Malwarebytes cover my ass, hopefully. Um, let's take a look. Hmm. Oh, okay. That's the default gateway. It's my address. So that's cool. I can bind ports more easily than thought. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, UDP is the short-lived connection, from what I recall. Oh. Transmission protocol user datagram protocol. So it's a communication protocol. TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, is a communications protocol using which the data is transmitted between systems over the network. In this, the data is transmitted in the form of packets. It includes error checking, guarantees delivery, and preserves order of data packets. Right. UDP, User Datagram Protocol, is the same as TCP protocol except that it doesn't guarantee the error checking and data recovery. If you use this protocol, the data will be sent continuously, irrespective of the issues in the receiving end. Cool. So the design. This is an interesting site, tutorials point. Okay, cool. Wow. Design. TCP is a connection-oriented protocol. UDP is a connection-less protocol. Makes sense. UDP is typically the short-lived connection that we make to a session creation between a server for HTTP. We do a UDP call, is my understanding, and then when we get a ping back from the server, I believe also in UDP, we can establish a TCP connection. Not TCP connection between a server and a client, whether it's a browser or desktop itself or wget, whatever's implementing HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Lib peer-to-peer does a lot of that work, and that's why I want to take this time to say, fuck it, I'm bored, and it's the weekend. I want to work towards this because this is fun. Because I'll two birds, one stone. And I can prove out my website can be hosted securely. Unfortunately, it won't be free, sadly. Things will cost money. Um, but I can make a badass, like, dumbass, this is SSL secure versus not. Please don't do this. So the browser should have a lot of this responsibility. For some reason, it doesn't. Like, I don't know why we turned off why we turned off JavaScript, but we didn't turn off HTTP. Like, I feel like that's one of our biggest attack vectors in business and websites, and that's where we get a lot of our issues with malware. Um, Not in enterprise things because we use SSL and we keep it up to date. We defer to another certificate authority, but we've learned the tools that generate this cryptography has been solved at a software level, and why aren't we using tools that just use Let's Encrypt and creates their own self-sign? And it's all because, well, that's not secure, and it's like, what is secure then? So, um, that's all about liability mitigation. It's really what it comes down to. Pointing the finger. I hate it. But it has value. So, really targeting that idea I was mentioning yesterday, simply by trying to get my fucking basic ass IPFS. So what I want to do is I will host my IPFS here for this scenario, and if I don't get far today and I fail all day, maybe I'll go back to just the secure node and private network because that's more important to my concept. Man, I burp a lot. I only realize when I'm just sitting here how much I burp. Maybe it's because I'm talking. It's like a weird hiccup. Who knows? Just giving away my fucking information here. Forever. Yeah, so the private node stuff, I know I can get working once I solve the Dockerization, but if I solve the Dockerization, I want to have an orchestration Dockerization system set up where it's in a container. Like, sucks to say that out loud, but the truth is that's what's going to give me security, and it will cost me more overhead, but the truth is we can launch it on other servers, but now we're responsible for where do we put its encryption, and but like yes and no, but like the inner workings of like the HTTP calls to each of the services will be now directly exposed outside of the network or tools that orchestrate the secure hosting infrastructure. So yeah, gonna dive in. So I'm really trying to figure out the port binding. So I have so many tabs, it's stupid. Um, and I also want to get to the point where we can manipulate the DNS service within the container. And that's what's fucking Amazon selling us, people, for VPCs and such. It's just this stuff here. And it's embarrassing in a lot of ways. It's because we're lazy. Companies don't want to do this. People don't want to do this. They don't want to talk about it. It's not their domain. It's all our domain. We want to behold to authority or technology and not have corporate ownership. You have to understand. And I'm just sick of not always understanding. And people have told me don't try to be the smartest person in the room, but like, that's cool. Like, I'm not. Certainly not. Um, and I try to be humble. But sometimes I just can't just listen to what's happening around me because it just drives me nuts. Bonkers. So how do I expose 502? No, because it's only using IPFS. Like, this really needs some serious documentation on, like, connecting it to all the concepts so people can jump in and learn it from scratch. And maybe I'm just too hopeful, but I want to be a part of that. And it's open source, so I'm going to do it. I want people to just, like, take my project and learn everything they know top to bottom. Security-wise, everything. And they've done a great job. So talk about the risks of like adding a new peer because it could create malicious implementation. It's connected. It's still a server client centralization, but not centralized. It's just like more of a representation of what the reality is. And you still have to control that to make sure you're secure and you're safe. Kind of like wearing a condom, but with knowledge and action. So a lot more effort. So I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. So let's look up port 502. Let's see what people say it's usually used for. I like the site too. That's new GoDaddy logo. Ah, brands. Brands, you're fun. Like, that's funny. I love it. I had to leave them because they left their cheap hosting service insecure with PHP um, technologies to run my like WordPress, and I was like, wait a minute, no, you can't do that. And they're like, well, upgrade to virtual private server. I'm like, then I'll pay Amazon. I'll pay anyone else, not you. Don't do that to me. Don't offer a service that's insecure. And then when I call you out on it, go, well, you can pay more money. How about and you go fuck yourself. I hacked it to like push in, like I don't know if it was like PHP 5.7 at the time, and it worked. Kinda. It did work. They weren't thrilled. It's definitely like a virtual machine they give you, but still, your website is exposed with that technology. Don't be dumb. Huh. What is this? Oh, it's a spy bot. That's able to go through network shares. Because of weak passwords. Yikes, man. Hmm. So 502 can be used for backdoor technologies. Yeeks. Yeeks. Hmm. Execute arbitrary code over. Yikes. Related to the HTTP tunnel feature. That's cool. Wow. Unrestricted externally accessible log. Yikes. Denial of service. Wow. Very cool. So that has an expose. So let's go back to the doc file, because that's what I'm trying to redo something that's already written here. Nope. Latest. So on bootstrap remove all. What does this even mean? What does this mean? Oh, okay. Fascinating. So it actually makes the route faster to use that. It makes sense. It's like the shortest IP that it could be, right? What is this said stuff that you speak of? Oh no. So what we're doing is somehow linking to? It's like a grep. It's like search. Replace with this. Stream editor. GNU Free Software Foundation. So let's do this. Right? Let's do Firefox. I trust them to back more of the standards, funny enough. Okay. So let's just do Docker build. Okay, so Linux, IP, config, if config, god damn it. So let's call that. Why? So I didn't name it, that's why. How do I name it? Oh, interesting. Docker Compose. Okay. That's what I'd have to be utilizing to be able to do that. Cool. I wonder if that's even real. There we go. So detach, so it's in process. We're going to publish the port 8080. And let's do 9090. So let's do 9090 to 80. Trayforce slash JS IPFS. Whoop whoop up. Why is it? Am I using clear? I'm fucking not. Hmm? This is not where I am. Okay. Clear is not in here. What the fuck? Was it not saved and I'm just stupid? Could be. Why? Did I put it somewhere? Did I fuck with something? Must have. What am I doing? Where's that coming from? Ah! Clean it all up. It's cool. See, it like downloads the two nodes, it's running them, and it saves a node image. Like that's what virtual machines are supposed to make our lives easier with, and that's really cool. And I'm curious as to how the Docker creator feels WebAssembly could replace this, because I think it could in memory. But I'm very curious how we could mimic something like this and almost port Docker into WebAssembly. Or something like that, because everything's an input and output, everything is a function. Servers are something that we keep running to make sure we can always receive an electrical input through the Ethernet cable. That's just the truth. Um, so a daemon is involved, but if you just have an HTTP daemon and a router, like we realized all the things that we did in a server and application was never decomposed, even though it should have been because we did it fast, we did what we needed, like, and everyone was doing it at the same time. That's how this works in all industry. So we're kind of reconsolidating the thought, but man, is everything behind. Um, and that's why just that concept of everything's behind is like why I feel we're always working to get ahead. And that's where new innovation comes from because it's like, shit, have we just been doing it this way? All right. That's what I love about compiling and downloading. It gives me plenty of time to talk without expending thought or energy. So, dude, man, V2. Maybe I should, no, it doesn't work that way. Whatever. I should learn why those operators, may work. I love that. 1,172 contributors. God damn. See, this is like why like no company should be involved with this alone. We should all be working. It's like if Ford and all these other companies were uh, to like be as greedy as software, they would have never come up with. Heh. Did I put this somewhere? I had to have, huh? See, it exists, but it's like not implemented. I'm confused. Clear.js, yeah. So clear is remove. Oh, I see. I thought I saw it before. God. Hmm. Am I logged in or no? Oh, it doesn't let me comment. Oh, it's inactive, that's why. So remove all. Doesn't fucking work. You bitch. I need something better than how I do things. And I've tried so many tools now on Windows, and I'm just not satisfied anymore. Maybe I'm just a grumpy person. But I'm just not satisfied. I miss my Linux, and like I miss my Unix, and this hardware I'm running, a Ryzen Threadripper, really bitchin' technology, um, really kicks out at Pulse Audio and a ton of other tools that like don't jive with my fucking hardware, and I'm too lazy, or I just don't have the care or time anymore, and I haven't made the time to go fix it because I don't care. I just want to code and I just want to get my work done. Um, so I think I'm going full iPhone. Sorry, Android. I'm just kind of just sick of it. Sick of all the little issues, and we'll see if the grass is greener on the other side. Probably isn't, but oh well. We'll find out. I've never given it an honest shot, so that's right. It's a web API. Nothing hurts me more that this is done over HTTP. Like you can have an HTTPS like connection and not have login, but it still protects you from man in the middle. And like I get it's like not sensible on a local machine, but like it kind of is for lots of reasons. And we should have tools underneath it to look at what's being streamed when we're the owners of it. Ugh, I hate it. Oops. Fucking A. Why didn't it work? On my machine here. That's ah. It's like everything I'm like trying to do is being thwarted, and it's everything I do. I mean, overarching amount of information, but like, it doesn't matter on everything you try to use. It's just like, nah, nah. Huh. So let's see what version it's yelling at me, or it's doing. Yeah, you're the right version. I can see it's a version control container, right? It's like, that's amazing. Like, why am I doing this manually? My job. Oh. Yeah, Docker people might have issue with containers, and maybe it doesn't help with like speed of like a server, but when I'm dealing with issues, god damn, does it solve a lot of them. Specifically IP ranges, like ports and all these things, like it just really makes it plain simple. Hmm. Fuck. Why does remove all not work? So let's go back to the Docker container, latest. I may scream. So I'm gonna do a Node.js Docker. So yeah, fuck all this. Like I'm working in their base Docker file. Like their shit isn't that hard. Like look at this. It's 5 lines. I'm gonna go into the environment I want. Like this is great, and they've done a great job. Um, but and I'm going to utilize some of this work here, and I hope they don't mind. I think they don't. It's open source. Um, I'm gonna just go into my IPFS AWS S3 node, which is the cloud hosted node, and I'm going to start working on a local hosted solution until I hit a highly secure AWS S3 credential creation, deletion, and all these models that need to be around securing the credentials for Amazon to then talk to the S3 bucket so it can be hosted elsewhere. So, fuck this. Screw you guys. I'm going home. So, what's my README going on here? So this is my libraries repo. So let's write a README. Nope, let's figure out what my environment's going on here. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm just frustrated because I'm a noob and I'm doing noob things and getting noob results. What? Oh, that's right. So Alpine's pretty cool. It's a secure Linux distribution, and I think that's really useful. So what I want to do is let's start from the beginning. I'm gonna run the bathroom, and I will be right back. Well, that was way longer. I let myself get distracted. Said I to my mom. So, not really bathroom run. Oops. Might need to edit that out for my YouTube channel so I don't have people hate me. So, um, rambled my mom's ear off about things she doesn't fully care about related to this stuff, but yeah, read me. So, where I was. So I'm in my library. So we get status, see how this repository's doing. So IPFS and whatnot. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do git remove. And this is scary. Sorry. Okay. So I'm gonna push up my Docker update branch. Um, what I'm gonna do now is git reset hard, so I lose those files. Might not because it's a different repo. Yeah, I lost those files. Fantastic. Um, so I need to create a Docker file here. So let's do so mheart alpine node with yarn. Okay. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use Vagrant or Docker, and there's still other tools out there. I'm going to use Docker because I can get my job done, and I think it's a relevant tool in the next step towards my WebAssembly distributed peer-to-peer server architecture dream. But we will see. So yarn install. Oh, cool. Badass. This is really what I need. So like, I make a repository. It has the package.jsons and things like that, right? And I'm using Yarn workspaces so I can decouple the package management per se. And I will be using Yarn, so it's still like kind of lame. I should probably put in a script that's like wrapped package manager, but like that's when I start getting to like why? Why do we do this? Why do we care? Um, and I don't care, so I'm not doing this yet. It's not valuable to anyone or myself. It just makes complexity for now, anyway. Like I've heard of BusyBox in my Android configurations. Stack smashing protection. Okay, so let's go back to Docker. Do I do a Docker init? Is there? So here's the truth. I'm putting it in the wrong library. We're going to create a new library. HTTPS IPFS CDN. Keep saying content delivery network. Let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, it is. So I have a source folder test. So truthfully, what we're going to do here is we're going to create a README because I get scattered. I need to start holding myself accountable to my own work. And it's hard when I don't have someone else going, hey, how's it going? What are we going to do next week? What are we going to do tomorrow? How are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? And it's like, oh shit, that's really, we're building your own company has its challenge in a lot of ways to me. So I gotta work with people. I need people in on this. Because I'm feeling lonely. Can't wait to have work again. Okay. So this is what's gonna import my AWS stuff. Um, and I think this is where we can really start breaking down one server per node, but each server is going to be a container or virtual machine, just to make my fucking life easy. Like, why? Why? Make sure we're using Docker instances and configurations that are easily auditable, as well as already audited by myself. Keep it simple, stupid. We can do some amazing things with very little code, and that's what IPFS is showing me, but we need to understand every concept to be effective. For example, when I was working on IPFS previously, if you've been following or not, doesn't really, no worries, because no one's following this anyway. I have one viewer here and there, and I appreciate them. This is my rambles. Where I got to use TypeScript Mocha because I want to use TypeScript for its typing capability, but you will have to be subject to regular non-typed things as well as typed. So Mocha has types, Node has types, which is great, and let's acknowledge that as before, Quality Coder was saying, JavaScript was never made to be a server language. It was never meant to be a binary language. It was never meant to be compiled down. It was always meant to be run on a JavaScript virtual machine, if you will, which is not exactly a browser. A browser. And the browser, in a lot of ways, has been forced to re-implement operating systems to support web apps that force operating system concepts upon the user. Um, that are both sensible and not. So what I'm trying to do is keep it simple, stupid. My products for substratum, the storage network, private. Everyone has their own private network. Anyone who connects to it has their own private network, and they choose when to make their own new network and create a handshake between networks. And how does that work? Because the truth is, distributed web is cute, but we need to give the users control over what it looks like, how they can handshake, if this technology is good enough to store their data on privately as well as publicly. And I believe it is. I've read a majority of its code. I'm really impressed by these people who have taken this call to create a new distributed manner of storing data. The way, truthfully, is a scalable architecture. Truthfully, is how we do it in server client model anyway. And we use API load balancers to handle this issue. So like they've baked it into one location with HTTP access as well as this, that, the other. Still requires a server. A little bummed by it, but that's the reality. It needs a computer. I was hoping I could spin up many nodes in one place with zero effort. No, more effort than I care. So much more effort than I care. And so, virtual machine, lock down the virtual machine, make sure the code is secure, but move on and run many machines and optimize that, because that's really where scalability comes in, because each machine can handle so many threads, each machine can handle so many requests. And what's cool is because we virtualized it, we have persistence in like what we were processing for a user. So say you virtualize like on one server a ton of HTTP nodes to connect with. My theory is you're storing persisted in memory or slow memory, really doesn't matter at that point. It's abstracted away from our control. Those requests, whether they're being iterated on slow and whatnot. So I want to create a system that is truer to the reactive manifesto, the reactive model, from start to finish, from TCP, UDP connections to IPFS interplanetary secured connection, like that is built on top of it with TLS and so much more. With IPFS, interplanetary name server, which is like the distributed name server technology. And how can we trust this trustless system and get past denial of service and all these other man in the middle attacks, all these things we should be concerned about? And I'm going to work towards man in the middle attack through TLS implementation over the HTTP part, and I'm just going to do it the lazy man way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on a Docker composed set of services that are a couple machines in one. I'm thinking a Caddy HTTPS proxy to my local IPFS API, and also expose the web UI via that. I just want a direct mapping between the two. And then make it so you can't talk to that machine inside and only talk to the machine that is the Caddy HTTPS proxy. And that way I can prove that I can do this way easier than the original way I was approaching it, and absolve myself of all of the connection port reconfigurations. And I plan to refine it, get better at it, but this is a good shim, if not a good enterprise solution that people are using, truthfully. So gonna start working towards my virtual machine concept, which is what I was like really learning in college at UMass Amherst sophomore year. So I'm really like excited to realize, now that I've done full stack development, now that I've done back end development in Salesforce, as well as on C Sharp, as well as Java with a lot of its own concepts, I am not a expert in any of these fields. But I've worked in a lot of different things. I've got to audit things, code bases, and I've learned a lot. So truthfully, this is my approach to getting my fucking free web hosting. Not free to me, unfortunately, because I'm owning it. Wah. But how to build a business like Pinata that only offers a private IPFS network that is its own. Unfortunately, I'm forking the network, but that's okay. And how can I work towards not only forking the network, but creating interoperability between the networks? And I might not even be forking it if I just tell the users, do you trust this file? And like, truthfully, you should only trust the files that are pinned in my network. So how do I inform the user? Let me write that down. Inform user of outside of network accessed content. Like, so let's say the users are up. Let's say I'm a Pinata service, and I'm like a drop file paste bin, but like wide open. Well, I say if you pasted it here, well, I trust what was uploaded here. But maybe I'm calling the question IPFS trust in general, and maybe I am. Um, and I am. I am. I think that man-in-the-middle attacks could leave us open to malware in ways I have zero conceptual understanding. Like, we'd have to get in a pissing match of cryptography, and I'm not ready to do that. And well, no, I'm fucking ready to do that in my own mind, but like, I'll get curb stomped. I will get wrecked. It will be brutal. So but I know that you can shove malware in files and make their checksums seem equal to something. And if people are smart enough to take advantage of the hashing function in IPFS, I mean, you're still loading a malware file. And you can be running it in an enclosed sandbox, but what the user gives it for input is still important. And that's what scares me. And so this is my journey of understanding this technology. How can I apply it to enterprise, all the way from taking the OSI model up, from the way I learned security in concepts in school. And I'm hoping to turn this into a PhD through good works and effort, and then actually go to Worcester State University because they're the ones who gave me my fucking degree because UMass Amherst was too full, and that's that. And I couldn't get above I think it was like a B plus in Calc 2, Calc 1 I got a B, and like so I didn't make my contract, so I never made it in, and fuck that. Worcester State is the place that gave me my degree. They didn't require it. I learned some of the most important security concepts, but I learned virtual machine concepts actually at um, UMass Amherst. So working with Vagrant, HashiCorp, something like that. Vagrant, the HashiCorp. Yeah, HashiCorp. Yep. So for any application, and I really believe in that. I really do. So I might end up using HashiCorp, but like Docker is a great solution for now. And I was comfortable with Vagrant in school. Not so comfortable anymore. I've lost the skill. Um, Sucks. I'm stale in a lot of skills, and like I said, I've worked in a lot of them, but I'm not expert in all of them. I'm pretty mid senior, mid junior, so this is like my attempt to really show what I can come up with. Really stop letting myself hold my work back, but I have to admit when I have to humble myself and delete things and acknowledge when they're not the right direction. And it's a lot of time wasted, truthfully. And it is what it is, but I don't have any deadlines that's like you need to make money for this now. But once I get these pieces in place, I can then approach investors towards Substratum, which will be blockchain. So I'll have to approach investors for a cloud storage provider and Trayforce Group's overall vision, truthfully, but in a decoupled way, and how they will be investing truthfully in both. And you're investing in me, Stefan Trayforos, who is a contractor under Trayforce Group LLC, and I hope to be able to be a contractor under my colleagues, which I know they would work with me again. But so that way I can take the right role in my own life, in what I want to see changed. And I think I want to see frameworks that are public and open source added to, really discussed like I'm doing here, how to build applications on them, and how to do it fast, and have the fucking tools where you're just like on IPFS pulling down an image and bam, it just works. So, but you need to make sure my private version and how I handle all these things work well too. So, and make it enterprise grade. And I'm excited. I'm really excited, but I'm poor. I'm caffeinated, and I'm a little crazy. So, so without further ado, get myself back to my README. IPFS secured CDN private network. let's talk about why. IPFS, interplanetary system, is a innovative way to store static files for public access. No exceptions here. Which can provide free commercial and non-commercial media hosting, such as static web applications, and so much more. And the truth is like computers are so fucking fast that like databases are super important to make things snappy, but like with proper scalable concepts, like you can just ask for a chunk of data that is the only data you need, and that's all you, and it'd be a JSON, and boop, there's like your UI. It's the initial state, right? And then you ask a couple other services for the larger chunks of data that you're processing. But if you make your architecture smart and intuitive, you can make many other models that provide those APIs while still making this slower async save every piece of data concept, but also make sure only the data is saved by you and the user, and give that confidence to the user that you're doing that. You are saving every day, like HIPAA compliancy for like as they type in the messenger. I want to see all the things they type. Like if that doctor's being malicious, or if that patient is confused, like I want the data trail to be able to help them as well as be able to hold them accountable as a doctor, like those kind of things. And we don't want that for like a person to person like Slack or Media or Mattermost like IM platform. So we have to be honest on how the code looks and how we can decompose it and remove those features. But the truth is, we're all trying to solve the same problems, and we're just monetizing it by making it private. And open source has really proven that that's never been ideal for anyone at the end of the day. And if you make it publicly available, there can be scrutiny, there can be shaming for code, and like sometimes, and you just got to own it. Like I've had some moments in my career already, 3 years in, and I've been developing since I was young, and but my god, I suck. Like, but I've learned a lot, and I'm trying to always apply better best practices, always trying to apply the theories I learned in school, as well as the practical experiences I've had in the field, and how to like reflect on them in like a retrospective agile thought. But I'm always doing that because I'm crazy. So the idea is create a secured private network, but it comes with a attack vector of its insecure HTTP provider. So the truth is I probably can trust IPFS because even through its insecure means, but when it because it's probably getting the data buffer and it's just chunking its data, it's treating it what it is. It's a real function, input output, and it's saying, all right, check some of the function of data, but like you're subject to each node's validity in that, and public chains will be exploited. And as a enterprise person who wants to guarantee I can give you a private network that can't have those issues, but you also may want to publicly host things. I still can't, in good confidence, rehost someone else's peers' data. That's the truth, and that's fine because it's a giant hash and it means nothing to anyone unless they want it, and that's puts liability on the user, which is awesome. But we also need to acknowledge when it becomes a liability for ourselves as a company, ethically, morally, as well as when it becomes an issue in terms of our own resources being spent on other people's work. And so that's why private networks are useful, because it will solve the same issue we've solved with servers and server client privatization, all these things, centralization in that aspect. But we need to also acknowledge that there's like a centralization aspect to all services and applications in isolation. You're always isolating these bubbles, these domains, and till it's good enough. And then you ask it for data, and then you show the user, and then you store it somewhere else, and then you take it from that somewhere else again, or even a new API. Who cares, right? And you need to own the data somewhere. And sometimes there's data you as a company, dear, for the love of God, you do not want to own. You do not want to own. And it's like, that's like their address, their social security. Why is it even there? You know, like, why do you even ask it? But like, that's how I feel like the ad network is. Like, why do you ask if they're like all this data? And the truth is they know more about you than you know about you and these ad models. And so I'm trying to like work all the way my way to YouTube, like um, innovation, without the greed, without just pure monetization in mind. And yes, we have to monetize. I would like to live comfortably. I would like to provide a service and receive monetization from it. But like, I don't want to be this. I don't. It's like the Google motto that they had to change: "Do no evil." I think it's now it's like "Do the right thing," and that was like the motto of my consulting firm: "Do the right thing," because and you always need to do the right thing, right? Um, and we do that to the best of our ability, and you need to stand up for that. And sometimes there's a cost benefit to analyze when it's not when we're not talking lives and we're not talking livelihoods, which sometimes we are even in the technology we're talking about, and it's everything is a complex interweave of relationships, and sometimes using a new technology will eliminate four dev jobs, four DevOps jobs, like. And firms need to be cognizant of that, and they need to be aware of how to um, manage that because you don't want to go take someone's job. I also don't want companies thinking they need 1,000 people anymore to do what we do these days. I actually don't think we do. Like a team of 10 to 12 per product makes sense. And if you do it really well, you may be able to do your product once and move on for a little bit and have that same team do the next product, right? And you continue to grow, and maybe you give them a kick in the ass in 5 years and say, go build your own thing because you deserve it, kid. Like, do you need money for investment? Oh, you're going to do the same idea as me? Cool. You're going to do it better? Yeah, I don't believe in that, but like, maybe you got a market. I wish you luck, right? Like, I don't know. I think that's the way I want business to be. That's the way I want to run business, and that's the way I'm going to. So I'm going to get laughed at a lot. But business is, I love it. It's my favorite thing. I've always found it exciting. It's the American dream to me. It's what I've seen, what I understand. So back to my read me and away from my Alan Watts philosophicalness. Not even close, actually, the truthfully. Um, so it comes with the attack vector of the insecure HT provider. So I should, before I bash it, I should say what I'm saying here in the stream. Truthfully, I trust the peer's ability to check data's hash before accepting it. Yet, I cannot allow my peers to have an insecure vector. So this project is to decouple the the TLS transport layer security from the insecure or from the plain text. Like I'm being, so when you say insecure, it's a negative, but it's not a negative. It's just what it is. It's just plain text. So plain text HTTP hypertext transfer protocol protocol. All right. Why is the P? Um. Okay. So. Cool. I want to make a solution to certificate authorities in distributed my spelling is probably awful. Looks wrong. Um, for SSL over HTTP, um, secure socket layer, right? Depreciated, huh? I don't think it's a depreciation based on what I understand. Oh, TLS and SSL are two different things. Good to know. I didn't think so. So I'm more mean than okay. Damn. Okay, so let's go back up here. So transport layer security is us balls. Okay, cool. I'm a fool. All right, so OSI transport layer security encryption. Okay, let's full English class this. Um, damn, I'm a nerd. Okay. For now, we will use Docker containers to orchestrate the requirements we have to join a HTTPS instance. Okay, HTTPS proxy server instance. So we're decoupling the HTTPS proxy server instance from the HTTP enabled IPFS peer. Um, um, so no. So I'm using Docker because it doesn't cost me anything. For now, I don't know if it's free. I don't really care. If it is not free, I will do a cost matrix of or a rate analysis of no. What's rate again? Rate analysis. It's a project planning technique for identifying key project risks, assumptions, issues, dependencies. This on the VM container orchestrator. Who owns them? How much do they want? How easy is it to port? Is Docker ethical? If so, probably just pay them. So, and if it's easy to port, else port to Vagrant or some sheet. Something like, okay. Virtual machines of the future, and blockchain is just built on top of this shit, which is built off of machines anyways. And we could have 50 machines running, but like, no, why do that when we have the power? So these are things that I've kind of like lost touch with in my skill set, and I'm mad about now in hindsight. So let's get it. So let me reread it. So IPFS secured CDN private network. Why? IPFS interplanetary file system is an innovative way to store static files for public access. No exceptions here. Which can provide free commercial and non-commercial media hosting, such as static web applications and so much more. So the truth is, but it comes with an attack vector. Of an attack vector, at its insecure HTTP provider. Truthfully, I trust the peer's ability to check the data's hash before accepting it, yet I cannot allow my peers to have an insecure vector. This project is to decouple the OSI transport layer encryption from the plain text HTTP server hypertext transfer protocol. I want to make a solution to CA certificate authorities and distributed compatible methods for SSL secure socket layers over HTTP. And apparently this is outdated, but this is what I know for now. And I'll be the old man now. Damn. Um, and do it that way. But I just want to make sure that this one vector is redeployable for a public node. And then maybe I can I can repoint my name server to my own personal IP that's hosting my own website here, right? And like instead of it getting the hash from there, it should be able to download the hash from say Pinata. And then what I want is I want to access it via this insecure like this, and I want to show me a different UI. I want to say oopsies or something stupid. My friend Dev used to make fun of me because I'd say oopsies. Like I don't know, dark. Like you should put that in your software. Like that's fun. I think people would like it. And that's why I want to build companies that focus on consumer versus not, and UI versus not, and what do people want, but built on the same tech. And we harden that tech together. So, yep, this is a long haul journey, and it's the early stages, and I just gotta keep at it. And it's gonna slow down, and it's gonna speed up, and maybe it will never slow down. We'll find out. And I don't necessarily want to, but I have a lot of ambitions. Too many ambitions, really. So, oh, Bootstrap clear. The fuck is this? Huh. This is the problem with keeping your dependencies local. They cause you headaches. Um, what am I doing? So, git status. See my README. What's going on there? Have I not saved my README? Oh no. Okay, it's here. It's here. It's here. What's happening? Okay. So, let's see. I'm gonna make a Docker file. Um, so composing. Okay. Right. See, I want to make a monolithic container. People hate that, but I will break it out. So I need to make a couple more. So okay. So I think the idea is like I'm still not thinking the right way. So here's what we're gonna do. I need to make it running locally, and this is my kind of start of my promise, I guess, if you will. Okay. Ah! Mm. What am I in? Is this Emacs? I think it's Vim exit. Ah! It's close. I'm an idiot. Okay. Had to do insert. Right. Quit. Boom. Origin. Docker update. That's why. Cool. So, yeah. So let's see. What I need is new folder. No. Tools. For automated yes proxy. For public CDN hosting. Cool. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So let's do it. I want to make two containers talk to each other. Okay. Do 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 do. So Caddy. Okay. Alright, start it. Good, good. So I want a reverse proxy. Um, so let's see. Right. See, and they take a real stance on the OSI model. Like, this is the kind of tool you fucking want. Page 1. Okay, let's see. So I think I'm using Alpine. Doesn't really matter for this example, truthfully. I want to use its services. So we're here. So what I want is, how do I make it? Okay. So I'm going to do here is I'm going to make new file, Docker file, dot caddy dot latest. We're going to do new file, Docker file, dot JS IPFS dot latest. And then, yeah, so that's what we're gonna do here. So this is gonna be a bitch. This is gonna suck. Like, I'm excited in my own way, but like, yikes, man. Close others. Nope. Let's go to our depend. Let's just go to other screens here. You know. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do what they did here. Nope. Right. Or what I can do is from IPFS slash JS IPFS, because I'm not a noob. What can I do? Expose 9000 Docker route port to port. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay. So that's not really what I'm looking to do. I need the reverse proxy to point at the right IP and port, and that's fine. Using HTTP. So, oh no. Caddy, you make me nervous. Don't get me wrong, I'll fucking own the code if I have to. It's open source, and what's its license? Doesn't matter. I'm doing free things right now, but let me. Um. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, it's just Caddy, huh? Wow. So let's see. What's low ports? Huh. Cool. Interesting. Hmm. Okay, I see. I see. That's right. And 8080 is not 80. Wow, I'm really learning a lot how like this we're binding the two together because lower level ports are for root level services. Fascinating. And the port is what? A virtualization of a data connection of input output, like right? Isn't that what that is? So caddy file. Let's see. Interesting. So what can I do? How do I make... Okay, let me do that. Huh. So I want to change it to 9,000. So the gateway's at 9090, which seems to be its default. $9,000. Everything else will stay the same. Let's do yarn JS IPFS Damien. Oh nope. So it's going to be a swarm key. Why? Am I running it in another terminal? I am. So it's not. Oh, it does work. Fuck my ass. Doesn't have the swarm key. That's right. I'd have to custom make lib peer-to-peer JS. So that's annoying. But I can do it. Cool. So that was already running. Let me rerun it again. So what I'm thinking is now that I changed it to 9,000 HTTP, I can do the Caddy. So Docker, and I can let's do their simple ass example. Fuck it. I don't know why I'm fighting it. Let's just copy it, and I take it to heart copying because my fucking oh yep. We're gonna have to copy Docker copy. So copy Caddy file. Okay. Let's go back here. do do do. What do you mean? So at APK, interesting. So it's like taking the base implementation, no cache. Huh. So working directory's there, and that's it. That's the builder template. And so what I need to do is caddy stop. And then we're going to do the caddy file here. We're going to okay. Let's do this. Oh, okay. So I think it's like copy everything here to an app. So that's what I'm doing wrong. So I want just to copy caddy file. Caddy file. To okay. It's so interesting. Let me go back out here. Alright, I need to get a drink. We'll be right back. Some more coffee, hot coffee, cappuccino. Re-steamed what I had, and then added a little milk, re-steamed it, and another espresso shot. Good as new. Whew, it's hot. Okay, so tastes great. No, yeah, tastes fantastic. So what's happening here is copying's not working because I'm a dummy. Docker client's current directory. So can I find that? No, I can't. So yep, it builds images automatically by reading the instructions from the file. So yep, it's a delta of changes. Great. Version controlled. Okay. Yep. Yep. Typically a database, but I think that's where we're getting to weird atypical situations in the distributed web where file distribution, even database file distribution, is becoming a reality. And I don't know if there are use cases that make it necessary, but the distribution of databases and things is a very cool concept for everyone to own the validity and pieces of some structure. That's still so hot. Okay. Um, yeah, let's keep going. Whoa, wild. Huh. Okay. Hmm. See, it should work. Okay. You fuck. You fuck. Let's go back here. You fuck. It was all me. Huh. Okay, so huh. Oh wow. Okay. 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 So Docker ignore will hopefully take care of that. Huh. So let's do that. Okie dokie. So I don't really get. Ugh. It doesn't seem right, but I'll do it. Maybe it's a dot slash. Ugh. I hate everything. So I'm gonna do Caddy proxy. Proxy. Yep. Hmm. Fuck my ass. I'm just gonna do it this way. Ugh. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to dash T Caddy proxy. Done. Let's do Docker container. List. Good. So I built it, so it's gonna be Docker run. Ha. Caddy proxy. Okay. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to kill the container. I'm going to edit this here to be 80. Let's see if that works. Okay. So let me go back to Caddy. So I'm going to go here. Let's go into my dependencies again. I need to eat. Damn it. I'm just going to go to fucking my fork. Bam. Okay, so we're in Caddy. Do do do. Okay. So there we go. How do I install Caddy? Um, hmm. Well, let's do this thing. I'm gonna go eat real quick. I'm gonna end the stream, do a little more work here on my own. But thanks for tuning in, and